This is the Debrief presentation for Team 7, comprised of Lydia Esklund, Cooper Green, Malika Thomas, and Natalie Thomas. Our team collaborated extensively via email, occasional Zoom meetings, and on the learning community discussion boards each week. In this way, we were each able to provide expertise and knowledge and support each other in our endeavors. Our team decided to elect one of the more difficult simulations, the Mexican restaurant, with a goal of 105 days in the location of Main Street, using the starter equipment with an economy site. We settled on the hours of 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, which is 40 hours a week, decided which 2 employees to hire, the prices for products, our supplier, and our target market. After meeting and discussing via Zoom, we each started the simulation on our own and began our individual efforts. Those who got a head start on the progress were able to share their successes and their challenges with the rest of the group in order to help everyone succeed. Additionally, we were able to ask questions and provide support for each other when we ran into challenges during our progress in the simulation. We provided updates and progress reports to each other to keep each other in the loop about what we were struggling with or the areas where we were pulling ahead and experiencing success. Additionally, our teammates were able to offer support and encouragement when parts of the simulation were proved to be challenging or frustrating. In this way, while we were all working on our own individual simulations, we were able to collaborate extensively as a team through support, advice, and a shared learning community each week in our discussions.
The learning community was a great tool to use for us to post our results, get feedback from our teammates, and continue to push forward in the simulation. As you can see, Natalie was doing very well on day 7 with a skill score of 53%, revenue of a little under $1,900, a net profit of $336, and a 99% health score. Natalie continued to do well on day 21, in which she had a 62% skill score, revenue of $22,766, a 13% net profit margin, and a 94% health score. The results for Malika on day 20 was 66% skill score, revenue of $1,683, a net profit of $8,100, net profit margin of 48%, and a 95% health score. On day 42, Natalie had a skill score of 62% with revenue of $66,159. She had a net profit margin of -1%, a health score of 92%. The gross profit margin was 77%, and a 76% customer satisfaction score. On day 51, Malika had a 72% skill score, revenue of $57,281, a 43% net profit margin, health was 99%, and a 66% customer satisfaction score. For day 63, Natalie had a 66% skill score, revenue of $115,693, a net profit of $45,009, a net profit margin of 4%, health score of 91%. She also had a 76% gross profit margin and a 79% customer satisfaction score. On day 84, Natalie had a 69% skill score, revenue of $176,257, net profit of $10,032, a 6% net profit margin, a 92% health score, 77% gross profit margin, and 80% customer satisfaction score.
In 105 days, Via con Dios managed to have a skill score of 71%, net profit margin 6%, and the health is 100%. The health portion of this simulation, dare I say, is the easiest part. Malika managed to get Grande Taco in just 107 days up to 75% skill score. Rock on. Her net profit was $57,670 with a net profit margin of 41%. Very impressive. But her health is a stellar 98%. In addition to leaving tips for one another on our Learning Community Forum, we held a Zoom call. This allowed us to have swift communication, answer questions quickly, and really help dig in on what works and what doesn't work on the simulation. Malika really ramps things up in week 14 with her 160-day skill score of 79. She is killing it. On day 140, Natalie shows off her 73% skill score. Her expenses and cost of goods sold are kind of high. However, the customers are at an 82% customer satisfaction rating. Cooper found himself starting over and came in strong with a 74% skill score. Keep up the good work, Cooper. During some of our strongest points of frustration, a little encouragement on the Learning Community Forum went a long way. Thanks for looking out for us, Malika. Here you see Malika really reaching for the stars on day 180 and a skill score of 80%. Her health is pretty good and her customer satisfaction is a 72%. It's evident to me that she knows what she is doing.
On day 154, Natalie's restaurant is in a very healthy situation. Her revenue is over $416,000 and her customer satisfaction is very high. These are some good indicators that show that her business will keep on doing well in days to come. By week 14, our team had become very comfortable with the simulation. That being said, there's always more information that we can bounce off one another to help our businesses do well. In this discussion post, we were talking about how much we contribute to the social responsibility and how this impacts our businesses. In week 14, Malika continues to run her very successful Mexican restaurant. Her skill score has now reached 3 stars and her revenue is at $352,510. Her net profit margin is 30%, which is considerably very high, and a good indicator that shows that if she were to keep running her simulation in the future, the business is going to continue to do very well. Just like running a real business, the simulated business brought about many challenges. One challenge was finding an optimal time to schedule a Zoom meeting that was good for each teammate. The learning community was good in this regard, though, because it offered lots of communication and teammates could hop on at any point of the day. Another issue that we had was the simulation was not consistent with what happened. There's a lot of random variables that come into consideration, such as employees calling out and things of that nature, which cause the businesses to be different and cause us to make different decisions even though we're running the same business. Lastly, a very frustrating challenge we faced was the simulation glitching and causing 2 of our team members to lose their progress. This is very frustrating considering the amount of time it takes to run the simulation and progress far into it. Overall, our team was very successful. We were always very quick to bring one another up, and there was never any sort of negativity in our communication. We valued each other's opinions greatly and definitely threw them into consideration when making decisions in the business. We shared and learned from each other's experiences and applied our teammates' advice. For the final results on my 105th day of business, my skill score was at 75%. Revenue was 152,914 and net profit was 64,545. One thing I pride myself on was my net profit margin, which was at 42%. If I were to keep running my business, I would do things to bring in more customers that would bring in more revenue and probably bring up the skill score in the future. On day 105, Lydia successfully concluded her business. Her skill score was a staggering 2 stars and her revenue was 133,148. Her customer satisfaction was 67%, gross profit margin 77%, and her overall health in the game was 100%. Just like in every other aspect of this project, Malika went above and beyond when running her simulation. She made it all the way to day 240 and achieved a skill score of 81%. She's the only group member to achieve 3 stars when running this difficult simulation. Her revenue finished at 440,669. She was very successful in her business and helped us a lot in telling us what directions to make when picking decisions in our business.
As you can see, I took Via con Dios 106 days into year 2. I went this long for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to go at least a year. But 2, I was really trying to bring my skill score up. I kept making tweaks, I kept trying, but I really just could not get it beyond 71% or 72% on some days.
Yeah, so the most significant takeaway I gained from running the simulation was just the amount of focus it took to stay on top of the many responsibilities involved in operating a successful business. There's so many facets that come with a business that you can't just be a master of one thing, you kind of have to be a jack of all trades. The next thing that really helped me out a lot was having a lot of intelligent people around in the same situation as me to help guide me in the right direction and really help me to make those decisions that I needed and tell me what I need to do kind of and where they messed up and how to avoid those same mistakes.
This simulation was much more challenging than I had anticipated, and at times I actually found it to be very frustrating. But I think that's why it's such a good learning opportunity because it actually highlights some of the real world struggles that many businesses encounter. And it certainly made me think about the difficulties associated with actually choosing to own and operate a business.
Running the simulation has shown me the importance of proper planning, hiring employees that I am willing to invest in and that want to be part of my business, and being proactive. I also learned the importance of having the right people around me that can give me good sound advice. During the simulation, I was able to bounce ideas off my teammates, and their encouragement really helped me keep pushing forward and get better each time I continue to go forward. Therefore, it showed the importance of having a great support system.
One thing that made this simulation really work for me as a methodical person is just to do a checklist and create a system for myself where I go in and I go with my routine and I check everything every day until there's things checked off the list that are running themselves and I don't have to check those things every day. And so that's one thing I learned is how valuable systems are. Another thing I learned that was important was don't be scared to start small. Trying to go too big too fast will destroy your efforts. But if you You treat it like building blocks, and everything is a little bite at a time, and before you know it, you have a business up and running, and it's doing amazing. Thank you for watching our presentation.